Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new to the YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to Aditi Jain. Today's topic of discussion would be literary devices. I am going to tell you 10 very easy but very important literary devices. As all of you know that soon we are going to face the board exam, and literary devices is one such topic which we never find ourselves comfortable with. So why not discuss it and be sure of it, because definitely it will be asked in the exam. So once again, if you are new and if you like, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and let's begin. As you know, literary devices are specifically used in a poem, and I personally consider literary devices as ornaments of a poem. Now, just look at the image that is in front of you. Don't you think that the ladies, after wearing these ornaments, are looking more beautiful? Similar is the case with literary devices. After using literary devices in a poem, the poem also becomes more beautiful, more rhythmic, and more appealing, not only to the viewers but also to the listeners, because poems are always meant to be heard. That is why I personally call literary devices as ornaments of a poem. In this video, we'll be discussing 10 literary devices and we will be seeing their examples. You can also note them down while listening to this audio. In that way, you will not be confused at all. I hope that this video helps you out in clearing all your queries regarding literary devices. So in the context, we will be looking at simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration, enjambment. Along with these 5, we will also be looking at anaphora, assonance, metonymy, onomatopoeia, and transferred epithet. Let's begin with the explanation of first literary device, and that is simile. It's very easy because simile is a direct comparison. While using a simile, we always use words like or as. For example, if I want to say that someone is very brave, how I'm going to say it with the help of simile? He's as brave as a lion. By comparing that person to a lion, I am just saying that that person is very brave. I am just using the traits of a lion and considering or calling that person brave. Okay, now let's look at some other examples of simile itself. Now just look at this picture. Again, we are talking about a girl and we are saying that this girl is having blue eyes, she is blonde and she has a bright smile. And when we are looking at the characteristics of the sun is also round, the sun is also yellow and as well as bright. So we are saying that her smile is as bright as the sun. Obviously, the smile is not equivalent to the sun, but we are comparing the smile of the girl to the sun. That when she smiles, it appears to be that she is smiling very brightly, just like how a sun shines. I hope now this example is clear. Let's look at some other examples. The first sentence is, he crept into the room as quiet as a mouse. The cloud was fluffy like cotton candy. The snowflake sparkled like millions of tiny diamonds. He was as angry as a grizzly bear. So all the people we are talking about, all the things they're doing or whatever the comparison is, obviously the comparison is direct because we are directly comparing the person or the thing to something or the other, keeping in mind their speciality. And also notice the usage of words like as in the first sentence, like in the second sentence, like again in the third sentence, and as again in the fourth sentence. This would be the point through which you can identify a simile. Okay, now let's move to metaphor. Similar to simile, metaphor is also comparison, but the only difference is simile is direct comparison because we are directly equating it, while on the other hand, metaphor is indirect comparison. Like if you have looked carefully, then I've used the same image, be brave. Now if I want to tell to a certain person that you want to be very brave and all of that, how would I say? I would say that you are a tiger. that will simply imply that we are again considering that person to be as strong and as charismatic or as fierce as a tiger. So, in a metaphor, without directly telling that person or comparing that person, I am still comparing. So, that is why it is an indirect comparison. Okay, now I hope you understood that. We will be looking at the difference between simile and metaphor. So, don't worry if you are still confused. Let's look at the other examples of metaphor in the meanwhile. So, Franklin has a heart of gold. So, definitely his heart is not of gold in reality, but it simply says that he's a very kind person and he's very nice and all of that. Mary's voice is music to ears. He is walking encyclopedia. So definitely that person is not an encyclopedia like for real, but that person is so knowledgeable and so wise that we can say that we are just indirectly comparing that person to a book, to especially an encyclopedia. And what is an encyclopedia famous for? That it has the answers of all the things that we want to know. So that is why, again, indirect comparison. Fourth sentence, you are my sunshine. The world's a stage. So definitely these things are not for sure in reality true. But then since we are comparing them and we are equating their characteristics, that is why. Okay, let's look at other examples now. The sun was a gleaming pearl. So definitely the sun was not a pearl. But then because it was shining so brightly that that is the reason we are comparing it to a pearl that is also shining. So my baby brother is a cute little teddy bear. My sister's memory is a camera that remembers everything we see. The car seat is a fluffy cloud. Custard is happiness in a bowl. So definitely these things are not true. They are not for real. But we are comparing it considering their qualities, their excitement or whatever the character traits are there. Now with this, all of you might be wondering like what is the real difference between simile and metaphor? So let's tackle that down. Look at these two sentences. The first sentence in the blue one says, busy as a bee. So this person is as busy as a bee. So we can definitely see that there's the usage of the word as. So definitely it's going to be a simile because there is a direct comparison. Now look at the other sentence. My brother is a cuddly baby bear. So definitely my brother is not a baby bear. But then he's so cuddly, so chubby that we are just considering him to be something or somehow similar to that. So here are some more examples which you can definitely go through. You can take a screenshot or you can note them down. So now before moving to the discussion of the third literary device, there's a small question for you. You can write the answers in the comment box. Dash is a figure of speech that makes a comparison using like or as. I'm sure you'll be able to answer this. So you can put down your answers in the comment section and I would definitely reach out and I would definitely let you know whether you have attempted it correctly. I hope you have already answered the question. Now let's come to the third literary device and that is personification. So this is the easiest of all. If you are asked to identify, this is the easiest literary device, and personification is all about when an inanimate object is given the quality of an animate object. So for example, to cut it in simpler words, if a real life characteristic has been given to a non-living thing. For example, look at this. Over here we can definitely see some non-living things like cars talking to each other. So that is definitely one character trait that only living beings, that is we as humans, do. Have you ever seen a car talking? No, definitely not. So that is what personification is all about. When you give qualities of a living person to a non-living being, that is what personification is all about. So let's look at some examples. The car was suffering and was in need of some TLC. So car cannot actually suffer, but this simply means that the car was not working properly. So it had to go to servicing. So this simply means that. So now let's look at some other examples. The car's engine coughed its last breath. So again, cars cannot cough. Next sentence is, the carved pumpkin smiled at us. So the pumpkin is a non-living thing. Have you ever seen any vegetable smiling at you for not probably eating that vegetable? No, that is not true again. So these are some examples. The sun is smiling at us. the streets are calling me. So definitely these things are not real, they cannot happen. But then when we say things like that, then they become more empathetic, they become more significant. When I say that the sun is smiling, definitely I mean to say that the sun is shining brightly, right? So now let's look at one more example. The moon was resting in the midnight sky. Again, can the moon rest? No, but here it means that it was just there. I hope personification as well is clear to everyone. Let's begin with the fourth literary device, and that is alliteration. So, alliteration is just a repetition of first consonant sound. Mind you, it is not repetition of words. Instead, it is repetition of consonant sound. I hope all of you are well versed with the difference of vowels and consonants. So, just look at this example that is on your screen. She sells seashells on the seashore. So the sound of sh, the sound of s, sh is being repeated again and again. So think about one more tongue twister. I hope you can think about it, and definitely you will make out that whether alliteration is being followed there or not. In the meanwhile, we'll look at the other example. Busy buzzing, the bee behaved beautifully. So again the sound of b is being repeated again and again. The sound is being repeated, not the word. The next sentence, Laura's lizard likes leaping leopards. Again the sound of l is being repeated, and obviously l is also a consonant, and sh, that is sh, was also a consonant, and then the other one, that was b, was also a consonant. So by far, alliteration is the easiest literary device not only to identify but also to understand. With this, let's jump on to the next literary device, and that is enjambment. So in enjambment, you will see lines being used without any breakage, without any punctuation. There will be just straight lines and lines. There would be no comma, no full stop. Just like you have thoughts in your mind, they are placed without any stoppage. There is no end to the thought. Similar to that, look at this example. And he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night. So again, there is no punctuation at all, no full stop, no comma, no semicolon, nothing at all. So in a poem, whenever you will see such a thing, then quickly frame in your mind that there is enjambment that is being used over there, because enjambment simply means lack of punctuation. So now I will be sharing a couple of more examples. You can definitely have a look at that. Enjambment actually is also very easy to identify. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now let's hop on to the next literary device, that is anaphora. Anaphora is a little tricky. Let's see it. A rhetorical device that consists of repeating a sequence of words at the beginning or neighboring clauses. So in alliteration, we only had the repetition of the sound, the consonant sound, but in anaphora, we might have some clauses, we might have some words or phrases being repeated. Let's look over here. 5 years have passed, 5 summers with the length of 5 long winters, and again I hear these waters. Again, see, 5, the word is being repeated, right? In every line it is being repeated. So this is what anaphora is all about. Look at the other example, and you can take a screenshot again of this example. Look and try to understand whether you are making out the meaning or not. I'm sure you would have understood it, and if not, then definitely you can reach out and write down your queries in the comment section, and I will definitely reach back to you. So let's now just look at the other literary device, that is assonance. Assonance is also repetition, but unlike alliteration, assonance is repetition of a vowel sound. Now for your ease, I am sure that you know what are the 5 vowel sounds, that is A, E, I, O, U. Let's just understand them better with the help of examples. Sentence reads, patience always pays. Now the vowel sound of A is being repeated, and that is why we can say that there is assonance being followed here. In every other word it's being repeated, so nearby words it's being repeated. That is why assonance can be seen here. Now look at the other sentence. The cat ran after the alligator, past the pastry shop and the alleyway. So again the sound is being repeated. Vowel sound, that is a vowel sound, a vowel sound, that is being repeated in the nearby words. That is why we can say that assonance again is being followed over here. Look here as well. Fleet feet sweep by sleeping streets. Beans means Heinz. He gave a nod to the officer with the pocket. So again, the vowel sounds of E is being repeated. That sound of E, that sound is being repeated over here in these couple of sentences. So again, we can say, since vowel sound is being repeated, we can say that assonance is being followed here. This is again simple one. Let's quickly go to the next one, and that is metonymy. So what is metonymy in reality? So metonymy is when name of one object is being substituted with something very closely associated to it. For example, you always pump up your muscles when you want to show that you are powerful. That is why, because muscles are a symbol of power. So that is why when we pump up our muscles, we show. For example, look over here. Crown is also one symbol to express the power of a king. I can use crown instead of using king. Now just look over here. The White House declared that we are at war with Mars. So again, White House is a metonymy for the president of US, because we refer to the president of US as Mr. President and somebody who lives in the White House, because it is closely associated. That is why. Next sentence. After leading a rebellion, he seized the throne. Now throne, if somebody is seizing a throne, we definitely mean that it's about absolute power, it's about kingship. So it's about the dynasty. That is what a throne, or that is what throne signifies. So whenever you substitute a word which is actually kind of similar and which is very closely related, so that is where we can say that we are using metonymy. After finishing up metonymy, the next literary device in our line is onomatopoeia. The word itself is quite a trigger to the auditory senses. When we are saying out onomatopoeia, it simply hints that something has to be related to sound or something like that. So onomatopoeia are used, or onomatopoeia is used when we want to talk about words that actually mean what they are being read as. For example, words like boom, wow, zap, boom, pow, all these words simply mean the same. When we look at these words, they are meaning whatever they are being written as. I am sure that you can think of so many words which will mean the same, and when you look at those words, you will instantly think about their meaning. For example, lapping water, gushing water, ripples, all of these words as well. So now let's again go to the next one, and that is transferred epithet. When I say transferred epithet, what I mean is when a modifier is usually used to describe one thing that is being transferred to the another one. That is what is transferred epithet. Now, what is an epithet, you must be wondering? Epithet is simply a word or a phrase which describes the main quality. Either it could be of a person or it could be of a thing. So I hope you're clear with the word epithet and also clear with the word transferred epithet. Now the catch of understanding transferred epithet will come from the word transferred itself. Look at the image that is in front of you. I admit it was a fun day. Definitely what the person is trying to say is the experiences he or she had throughout the day, those experiences were fun. Not the day. The day was fun because of the experiences. So again, the modifier has been transferred. That is what is the meaning of transferred epithet. Some other examples of transferred epithet. They are a careless match, a scornful eye, the weary road, wide-eyed amazement. Again, the match was not careless. People or the teammates, whosoever was playing the match, those people were the ones who performed it carelessly. The match was okay. The match is, we cannot say anything about the match. Again, a scornful eye. The eye is not scornful. Instead, the person who is seeing from that particular eye is having that mentality of being a scornful person. So that is what is transferred epithet. With transferred epithet, we finished off the 10 literary devices that we had to discuss. I hope all of you understood them, and if still there is any query, you can definitely reach out. You can use the comment section, or you can also connect with me on my Gmail ID. I am readily available on that. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you understood whatever I taught, if you liked whatever I taught, and if you feel like reading more of what I write. I also have 2 books, and they are available on Amazon. I am the co-author of these 2 books, and you can connect with me on my Insta handle as well, and the Insta handle goes as Aditi_scribbles. You can connect with me. I would be happy to help, and you can contact me for any counseling session, for any query that you have for your upcoming boards. And stay connected. I would be uploading more such videos which are totally driven to English literature. I'm hopeful that you would like them. Bye.